Um, this topic, for me, it's become a passion of mine. And I hope that when you leave here, we inspire you to think green stewardship. Have you ever heard that before? You've heard of the green movement, everything green, and we want to use everything that it's not as good for the planet and use things that are reusable and things like that. And we want to compost and we want to recycle. But there was about, I don't know, my journey really started probably 3 or 4 years ago. Our family went through some changes in of jobs. My husband changed jobs and came to work on our farm full time. I've been at the farm with our kids, helping them, but the farming wasn't the thing that kept us going. It was my kids' project, and we were just supporting their project kind of thing. And all of a sudden, it became all of our project. And when it became all of our project, all of a sudden, I had to think budget. I really never had to think of budget before. My husband would just say, don't spend too much this month. I'm like, what's that? Okay. So I figured things will be different. How is that going to work? And somehow I stumble on a TED Talk by Bea Johnston. Has anybody ever heard of Bea Johnston before? Nobody's familiar with her? Well, I was fascinated by her talk. She's from France, but lives in America, somewhere close to San Francisco with her husband. And she was talking about how all the trash that her family of 4 made in 1 year fit in one of those mason jars. And I'm like, doesn't that catch your eye? And I was like, how is that possible? Kind of thing. So I was just like, this is really interesting. So I'm going to share with you a few of the points that I learned and how it's changed my life, and maybe get you thinking. Then we'll have you guys divide into small groups because I want you to discuss. We're going to play a game, and it's a game because it's going to be fun, but it's really thinking things through. And then we'll hopefully have a little time to share. So I don't want to spend a lot of time in my talk because I want you guys to come up with answers that you can go home with, okay? And make that practical. So she inspired me to think, how can I cut waste? I mean, I'm composting and I'm recycling, whatever recycling is, right? I mean, California, though, there seems to be a little more serious. I went to buy water for somebody, and I see the bottle was $1.90 and then 10 cents for something. And I'm like, sir, I'm in self-checkout. Why are you charging me 10 cents for? Oh, that's the so-so tax. And I'm like, what's that for? That's the recycling tax. And I'm like, oh, good for you. I mean, I have a version of using plastic bottles anyway, so it wasn't for me. But what about you? Do you guys compost? Okay, you're doing good. Do you recycle? Mm-hmm. Okay, you are doing really good. This is her book, Zero Waste Home by Bea Johnston. If you can get the book, I was going to have it here, but we couldn't get a good price on it to sell at our booth here. But if you ever get a chance, if you can get it, it's got the first part. It's her talking, her talk that I'm going to briefly go over, and then the second part is ideas of how she's gotten to that point. But I think by that picture, a mason jar in bulk gives you an idea, right? And most of you buy bulk already? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, so we are on our way, guys. So this is really good. So she came up with 5 easy steps, okay? And the first one is refuse what you do not need, reduce what you do need, reuse what you consume, recycle what you cannot refuse, and rot the rest. Okay? Should I say that again so you guys get it? Refuse what you do not need, reduce what you do need, reuse what you consume, recycle what you cannot refuse, and rot or compost the rest. Okay? So those are our 5 E's, and I'm just going to briefly go over those. So refuse. Refuse is probably the hardest thing for people to do, because it's hard for people to say no. You're walking around the booth, and I'm going to get shot for this, and they offer you freebies, and you take stuff, right? Without thinking, you're taking stuff off the tables. And we give you a bag, right? Like last year, we had bags. Guess what? We don't have bags this year. Because, and I'm like, yeah, I had something to do with that. I was like, if I give bags, I want to give a bag that they can use to take to the grocery store to put their groceries in. So that costs more money. So next year, we'll have to think about that one, right? So, but refusing is really curbing your consumption. And it starts outside the home. What you bring from the outside, what you bring inside. And there's some things that you have decision over, and there's some things that you had no choice over, like junk mail. Okay, junk mail is huge. I don't know about you, but usually 2/3 of mine is junk. Not anymore, probably less than half at this point. But I have really fought the junk mail, because it's illegal for some of those people, for the mailman not to deliver you that stuff. That's how they earn the money I get in the mail. But we have also single-use plastics. Short of that is SOP. So if you hear me say that, it's plastic bottles. You see the bottled waters that are half drank sitting there? I used to work with Lisa in Youth for Jesus, and we had to buy bottles for the kids. And it was my pet peeve with those bottles. It just because they drank 2 drinks, they put it down, nobody knows who it belongs to. And so you have to look for plants to water all day long, right? And I said, Lisa, this has got to stop. Label this thing. Let's label them up. That worked for a little bit. No more plastic bottles, just metal bottles. They have to refill. Remember, we had the end. Because it was just tons and tons of bottles, and half of them used. Has that ever happened to you? So freebies, and we talked about freebies. You go to a conference. I just went to a conference with my daughter. I mean, she was at the conference. I was there at the hotel doing my stuff, and I helped her drive there. And she comes from the conference with a bag, and I'm like, why did you take the bag? Do you need anything in that bag? She goes, I forgot to refuse it. So we're still working on this at home, okay? We're not there yet. But I want you to take this home with you. One choice you make, one decision you make makes a difference. Don't get discouraged. So if you make one good decision that day, you made a difference. And we are responsible on this earth, and we know it's going to burn, but can we do anything better to make it better? Not only for ourselves, but for our kids. And also, we'll see the benefits of this, okay? So refusing is the key. It's the biggest part, okay? That will take the biggest bulk of bringing things into your house, and so you don't have to decide on that. The next thing is reduce, okay? Reducing is another word for downsizing, okay? So, 3 things that you can do. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. One thing that you can start doing is assessing the things that you have in your home and what you really need them. Do you really need this or that? Right now, our situation is we live in a 5th wheel, and we have a 40-foot container storage. So that's my closet, right? And it's amazing what you can live with in a 5th wheel and what you can live without that stays in storage, right? You make do, because you know what? I don't want to get out and go walk out in the field to my storage container to look for something. I'll just make do with what I have here. And so I really don't need that, right? I can do without that. So going around your house and just going through stuff and saying, I really need this, I don't really need that. Also, another thing that helps you reduce is curbing your current and future consumption, meaning that, can I buy this in bulk? You start going to the store, can I buy this in bulk? Can I order this from Country Life or Asher Standard? That's our bulk people, our co-ops. Can I do without? I just mentioned that. Can get rid of this because I don't read it. I need it. I know my mother-in-law, we go to her house. She goes, I have some stuff there in the garage. If there's anything you need, take it. And I go look at it. My time's up. Really? I'm like, wow. And I was like, before I'm like, yeah, I can take it. I might be able to use it. I'm like, I really don't have room for this. My girlfriend came to visit from California. She goes, you know that brush you used when we were little kids? I found one, the same brush, and I bought you one. I'm like, that's so nice. But, I live in a fifth wheel, and I really don't have the room. Good excuse, right? Because it's true. I don't have room for another brush. I already have a brush. Do I need to print this, right? Or can I just take a picture of it? Have you found yourself I found some, I'll just take a picture. And I don't have to have all this stuff taking with me kind of stuff, One thing that we do at home a lot is, do I need this right now from town? Oh, can it wait when we go to market on Thursday? And then we have a list. Anybody going to town on Thursday? Okay, can you get me this, this, and this? And I end up shopping for my parents, for my son and his new wife, for my husband. And, and we come back with a van with stuff that we need one trip. It's about, if we do the mileage thing and all that, it's about $45 to $60 round trip for us to go to town. That's what mileage costs for, you don't think about that because you guys are not putting mileage down probably, but in our business, we have to account for our mileage, and it helps us in the end financially, and you start like, I'm just not going to ask for you to go down and get me butter. No, we can do without butter. So you start thinking, can I accumulate my trips? And it saves you in gas, especially if you live in California. You guys pay way too much in gas. You're getting ripped off here. So, okay. So the next one is reuse. And this one, reduce. Sorry. Did I get reduce? Refuse, reduce, sorry. Reuse. And sometimes we get the terms reuse and recycle. We think they're the same thing, but they're not. Reusing is taking a Ziploc that you maybe used for something that you're going to store in your refrigerator, and now I'm making some tortillas or something, and I cut the Ziploc, and now I use it to spread my tortilla and roll it out. Okay, that's reuse. That's one way of doing that. Recycling is actually taking something and turning it into something else, like all our plastic and stuff, and hopefully they do something with it, not just bury it. That was one of the things that I didn't get to do. My husband and I said, we need to go to our recycling plant and really know where our plastic is going, because believe me, when you have a farm and you have drip tape, you have plastic going out, and it kills me. It just kills me to see the plastic that goes out. It's like, so when you reuse, there was this little ancient proverb that came up, and I thought it was cute. Use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. I thought that was really cute. But, various ways of using mason jars. Well, I use mason jars in so many ways. I don't just can with them. It's become my mode of choice for storage in my refrigerator. Everything I can see, it has a lid that is one lid. I don't have 20 size lids to figure out which one goes on top of this Tupperware, and I can't see what's gone moldy. No, I can see everything. I have different sizes, wide mouth, regular mouth, 2 sizes. I can't mess that up, and I can see everything. I date my tops with a washable marker, and I know that my beans have been there for 2 days or 3. Time to throw them away because they'll explode, or get them frozen. It just really helps you out. Buying used stuff, one thing, our son just got married, and I got this dress, and I couldn't find the shoes to match it just right, and I found this website that you could find shoes that were reused. It had the same thing as Poshmark. I don't know if you've ever gone in there. A pair of shoes that went on the market for $200, I bought them for $40. And I'm like, I don't feel that using those pair of shoes now, because I know, I didn't spend that much. And they were perfect. When they came to me, they were impeccable. And I could send them back and sell them back if I wanted to. I'm like, these people are zero waste. I love them. This is great. Rechargeable batteries, or I can't get rid of my ultimate junk pile kind of mail that comes in. So in the wintertime, I have a stack of paper that I've accumulated, send it to my parents, kindling for their fire stove, you know. So finding ways to reusing things like that. I'm going to go ahead and jump onto recycling because I think I want to have time for you guys to interact. So benefits of zero waste. If you can start thinking a little different every time you go to the store, every time you go to a restaurant. I came to California in December, and I was shocked when I sat down and they gave me water and there was a straw in it. And I'm like, I'm in California. This is illegal, right? They shouldn't have that. And I'm like, you know what? I should have said, can I get the water without straw? You know, have we ever used sippy cups? Why do we have to have a straw? It's not like we're little kids that we're going to dribble, right? Use the cup and drink, right? I mean, we've just gotten so far away because of all these niceties. But benefits, financial benefits, my word, it reduces the amount of things I'm buying now. I'm thinking twice or three times before I get them, you know. It makes me use things that in different ways that I hadn't thought of. One of the biggest things, it's made me a lot more content because, hey, I don't really need that. You know, I don't have to go there because I don't need it. I can go to the mall with somebody and come out really satisfied. And it's just like, where do I have room to put this stuff? Do I really need this? It supports my healthy lifestyle because, you know, I am using things that are more whole foods. Of course, I have the farm, but I'm buying less packaged stuff, you know. I'm trying to buy more in bulk. So health-wise, it's also, I'm not using plastics, toxins, and things like that. Let me see what else. I don't have a TV. You know, TV is one of the biggest things that tells you buy. Magazines, anybody gets magazines? Boy, when I read her book, the first thing I did was get in there and call my magazines, all my clothing magazines that I would be getting. No more, you know, just cancel. I don't have that temptation in there. If I need something because something's coming up, I'll Google it, I'll order and I get it. Well, that's once a year. But if you get a magazine every month, you're like, ooh, this and this and this and this, you know. So I have more time for my family, more time to be in the farm, more time to just do what I want to do. I'm not tempted with all that. Now, you can say you don't have TV. It doesn't make you a saint because you have a computer. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That is a portable TV nowadays. So you got to watch that one too. I mean, sometimes I'm going through my Instagram because I have to have Instagram for a business. And I'm like, who's been looking at something? Now I'm getting all these advertisements, you know, because of our feed, you know, that comes through. And you start getting all these temptations through. I'm like, somebody's been looking in the internet for something because it's appearing in my Instagram and I can't tell. So I think financial, health, and time with your family, huge, because now instead of maybe buying Christmas presents for each other, you're like, you know, we'll put that money together. We'll get an Airbnb with all our family and spend time together. To us, that's more important. We haven't done Christmas giving since my kids started going to GYC. That was our Christmas gift. You know, we saved for that. We worked for that. And that was our gift for our kids. Spend time together and be there. I mean, we were old to be in GYC, but ended up working a lot at GYC just because our kids got involved. But we just all retired in December. So we'll find something else to do as a family. But I don't know. Have I made you think just a little bit differently? Coming here, I made sure I have my my fork, not spoon thing, because I was afraid we would have plastic silverware here or something like that. I'm like, I refuse to use that. And I was thrilled. Real place, real fork, real cup, paper bowl. I'm okay with that. You know, and you can't go one extreme or the other. You need to find your medium where you can work and not feel the guilt, but yet feel like you're doing something good for your family, for yourself, for your just where you live, Our trash amount is not that small like hers anymore, but our trash has considerably, there's a little quote, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. And am I not going down? Recycling is an aspirin, alleviating a rather large collective hangover over consumption, meaning we think we're doing good with composting, but if we can start with the 3 first ones, the amount of things that we have to recycle is less. The amount that we rot is even less. And a farm is different because you have a lot of stuff coming out of the farm. Why am I not going on? Oh, I kept talking. And so now we're going to do this. Let's see if you can, maybe in your own rows, if you can get together. And it's going to be a little hard as well. But if you guys can be a group here, and you guys there can be a group right here in faith, and you can come back here with this group. You guys can be a group over here, and you guys can be a group over here. This will be a big group. And you guys can be a group in here, okay? So you somehow, if you want to turn chairs or whatever. But group 1, okay, it's called the zero waste swap game, okay? So I'm going to have you start thinking the way I think when I go to the store, right? Just think of 5 things in your group, okay? Maybe 5 things that you would do different now after this class that you would be constantly thinking of when you go to the grocery store that you are going to do different, okay? And just come up with 5 things and mention 2 things at the end, okay? So you guys get together. Group 2 over there. When you're eating out, what will you do different? And that could be a picnic or a restaurant or a potluck at church, okay? So your group back there, think 5 things that you will consider doing different if you were to eat out. Potluck, picnic, or restaurant, okay? Because they all have things that could go wrong there. So you're 1, 2, 3. Over there, group 3. Clothing, okay? I want you to think about 5 things that you would do different if you were shopping for clothing, okay? Group 4, right here, travel. 5 things you would do different if you were to travel. It could be outside of your house or a trip to California kind of thing, okay? And group 5, household items. If you were to shop for 5 household items, 5 things you would maybe do different or pick different if you were going to buy them. Okay, thinking zero waste now. What would you do? Okay, 50 seconds. You want to look at it? This? I just give you this when I'm done. I mean, okay.
I know somebody who likes to waste money. You guys don't think so.
Okay, guys, you guys having a lot of fun, right? Okay, I want to let you have time to get to your next class. I don't want to hold you up. Okay, grocery store. 2 things you would do different. Who's your spokesperson? Okay? Okay.
Yeah, we have kind of, I'll go quickly.
Okay, quickly. Stand up, please, and look back so everybody can hear you. Thank you.
One was take your own grocery bag with you.
Good. Keep on.
The second, make a grocery list before you go.
Very good.
Eat before you go in.
Okay, that's good.
Stay on the outside of the
Good one. Perimeter of the grocery store is your best part. Yeah, go ahead.
and then shop like a man.
No, I mean, yeah, my.
Let me just explain quickly. Those that, men usually know what they want. They go in, they get it, they go out.
Yeah, unless it's my husband. He compares. Is that 2 ounces, 3 ounces? Let's see. The price. Okay. No, very good. You guys did really good. Another thing that she does, and it depends, she takes her mason jars and has them tear and then put the stuff in there. So she takes it and she doesn't take any plastic bags home. That's a little extreme, especially with COVID, but I thought that was interesting. Okay, eating out. Number 2. Who's the spokesperson there? Stand up. Okay, go for it.
So the first one we said was ask, but they don't give you a straw.
Okay.
Feel like you need one. Don't grab a whole bunch of napkins without thinking. Just maybe what you really need. If
Okay.
You're getting a napkin.
Good.
Bring your own utensils. We kind of stole that from you. Like bring your own utensils, and then maybe that's useful in different settings, even potluck. Don't over order or don't take too much food if you're at potluck, so you're not wasting it.
Yeah, that counts here too. People are thinking they're at potluck here, but okay, go ahead. That's good. That you have quite a few there.
And then for potluck, try and stay away from buying the disposable containers.
Styrofoam.
Like what? Okay. And then use washable containers.
Thank you. Thank you. Churches use paper plates and then use silverware. You can have a lot of hands. You can get in there and wash them. That's what we do at our church. We get hot water. We put them to the dishwasher. Yeah, and get away from that. At the wedding, we had responsibility on Saturday. I researched and I found compostable silverware. This is not it. But I found compostable silverware because for 100 people for our Saturday meal, I was just like, I die if I have to use plasticware. I can't do that. We'll spend more on that, but no, I can't do that. So I was real excited. We did that, and we had compostable paper plates as well for Saturday because I wasn't at my church. So, okay, you guys back there, clothing. Who's your spokesperson? Okay.
Clothing, obviously, if you can do hand-me-downs, do hand-me-downs.
Okay.
If you got kids.
Reuse. Okay.
It's awesome. They've got the ability, if you've got a sewing machine, to repair your clothes.
Okay.
That's a huge one.
Repairing. We usually dump, so repair clothes. Yes.
You've also got op shops or thrift shops, you call them over here. It's a great way to find clothes. There's always the balance of like cheap and nasty versus high quality.
Exactly. Very good.
Sometimes just $1, it's hard not to go for the cheap.
Yeah.
But there are some times that it's just worth spending that extra
Yes.
money
Yes.
because you know it's going
And
to
it lasts
and
you for a longer time. Very good.
But you always have to weigh, well,
Yeah.
that one's not as straightforward.
Okay, very good, guys. I think that's good. Let's move to the next group. I think we're getting people good ideas here. And you are travel.
Travel, we take your own food with you,
Okay, good.
and then when you buy a car, get one that's good fuel mileage.
Eco, okay, eco-friendly car.
Not necessarily electric, because it costs more for the electric by the time they're all done. And
Yeah.
the batteries and whatnot. And when you travel, if you've gone as a family, if you stop at a bed and breakfast where you've got your own kitchen facilities, you can prepare your own food,
Yeah.
you don't have to eat out. What else was there? Oh, luggage. Yeah, take very small luggage so you don't pay an extra luggage fee.
Okay, that will save you there. Another thing, refuse toiletries in hotels. That's another one. Lots of plastic, lots of waste there. Carry your own toiletries and reusable bottles. That will reduce the amount of the toiletries that you're using in the hotel room as well. Okay, very good, guys. Okay, you are number 5, household items. What would you do different?
Talked about when you're buying your cleaning products, getting one bulk of the like liquid spray soap or whatever, and saving that one bottle, so you're not constantly buying when you run out of the third little bottles. Then for only having one type of soap that can kind of clean the entire house.
The entire house.
All the
Exactly.
specialties.
Mm-hmm.
And then towels for drying your hands instead of paper products. And not necessarily like using, like we were saying, for Sabbath dinners, instead of trying to avoid having a big mess to clean up using paper and this and that, all the disposables, but using actually hardware.
Very good. At home, I refuse even paper plates. I have plenty of dishes, and there's nothing wrong with using your hands and washing dishes. And I just have my stack, and I wash, and we do it real quick as a family, right, Skylar? I'm like, we'll have 12 people or more, and I'm like, real dishes and real things. These are compostable. I got a few things as I was traveling, so I didn't want to, but these are compostable, non-plastic. So you even think about things that you use in your household, choices that you can make. This guy here has 3 heads to replace that. This is all biodegradable, compostable. It's metal. You can piece it apart, and it can be, yeah, if you need to. I mean, soap and water, it's the best thing to get bugs out of stuff, just good soap and water. Dish soap, okay? This is a new one that I'm going to be trying because I'm always looking for stuff. But you have it there, and and it doesn't have the water, so it goes a lot longer than those things on plastic. I hate using plastic. So this is one that I'm going to be trying. This one, I haven't tried it. I haven't opened it yet. Toothpaste. You ever thought of the plastic that you have on your tooth bar thing? This is a metal can. It can be reused for something else in your travel kit or something, but it's a powder toothpaste. There are recipes on how you can make your own. What did our great-great-grandparents do? Well, most of them lost their teeth, but you can come up with that. And the last one I have here, oh no, I have one more. And this one I was showing Skylar. I was so tickled when I found it. But this is a silicone, and no more saran wrap. And it's in a plastic, and it's compostable. But I can put this over my bowl. I can seal it up, and off it goes into my refrigerator if I need it. Try to buy things that have, their own lid. But if you don't, this will take care of my plastic stuff. One last thing: True Earth Eco Strips laundry detergent. I just started trying this. I told you about it. This is 1 cup of liquid soap, and it's great. It's about 38 cents a laundry thing. You have to make your own calculations, but I'm still trying it because farm clothing gets really bad. But anyway, I just brought 2 strips. I'm excited about this. You're done. This is compostable. I don't have the big old things from Costco, plastic stuff, from soap. So I'm looking, I'm researching, I'm looking for alternatives, anything, anywhere I can reduce. I have a lady that's teaching me how to make soaps and stuff, and you can do your hair, your body, your hands, the whole thing with the one, bar of soap. Is it practical for me? No. I don't have the time to be making soap, but if you have the time, you have to find what works for you. You don't want to go to a point that it becomes a burden, but actually it reduces what you need to be doing at home, and you're feeling good about yourself, that you're dumping less. So anyway, I hope that we inspire you. Quick comment, because I need to let them go.
Yeah, your silicone cover, there's a thing called wax cloth.
Yeah.
That's a really
Yeah,
good-
the big wax covers, I use them for my sandwiches and stuff. They don't last very long, but hey, it's a good alternative. A napkin is a good thing too. You can wrap your sandwich in it. Yes, ma'am.
And I use the wax bags from cereal to use.
To reuse.
Yes.
Very good. I wish we had more time in our class, because I have a feeling you guys have good ideas that you've been doing. I mean, if you came to this class, you either knew us, or you were being nice, or you were really wanting to get inspired. I don't know what motivated you, but I hope we are letting you go from here a little more green thinking, more stewardship. It is thought of something hippie or new agey or something. It's not. It's our responsibility to think more green, and we should be the heads and not the tails on this movement. So anyway, I'll let you come up and look at it. Guys, I know you need to get to your next class. The next speaker needs to come here. Huh?
Doesn't it go till 10:15?
It does? Oh, well, let's go on.
I have a question.
Yes, go have a quick.
What are some things you're doing on your farm?
What are we doing in our farm?
So like first, are you bagging salad mix? Have you come up with anything else?
So I'll tell you, one of the things that we're doing in our farm is we've standardized our plastic containers. So we have 2 sizes, and everything that we harvest, sorry, you needed this? Everything that we harvest goes into those bins. So that's in storage in the refrigerator. And we only bag what we need to bag to sell to our clients. So we're just not bagging everything. So that's one way. We do have to bag our greens. We can't, they dehydrate, and it's just not, it won't stay fresh. So that is something that I wish we could go with a compostable bag. We have tried compostable bags, but they dehydrate the stuff in it. So they haven't gotten there yet, but as soon as they have it, I'll be buying it for our place.
I was listening to Ray Tyler, and he was saying that they've actually been using paper bags.
Really?
It actually works pretty well. So I haven't tried it, but that's what he was saying.
Wow. Yeah, that would be amazing. Another thing that we do is if we have tomatoes and we have to weigh everything out so it goes in the bags, we weigh them in the containers, but once we bag, and we use paper bags, we deliver. So we use paper bags, and we'll take the tomatoes out and put them in there, loose by themselves, in a nice way. In the butternut squash and things like that, we'll put them in the bag. But there's some green stuff that you can't do that. We do have a client of ours that loves when we get our oki bags with lettuce, the big ones that we have, because she makes bread, and those are great for her to reuse. So you can inspire your clients to try to reuse some of the stuff that you are putting out there, and they can become part of your team. Let's do this together. Let's just not throw things out. So we do recycle all our drip tape. We make sure we gather it up. We recycle our plastic. We take it to the recycling bin. Our metal, we have a neighbor that economically, this is how he makes finances, an older gentleman. So anytime we have metal waste in our property, it's in a pile. We call him, he cleans us out, and he goes and gets money for it. So we're working, we're partnering with somebody. We grow organically, so that reduces a lot of chemicals and things in our property. What else can we do? We use a lot of, we use our tarps. We have tarps, and we reuse them until we can. And when they get to a point we can't use them in the field, I may use them and cut them in strips and put them along the field, so I cut my weed pressure. I have beginner farmers, gardeners that we will donate stuff to, like rip fabric, row cover, because there's their areas are smaller, so we donate them to our friends that have gardens that need protection from the winter. So it's getting reused in other places. Some belt that we cut that doesn't work for us anymore, we donate it to friends like that can be used again. So, I will ultimately not like to have no waste and be able to use, but I need to get creative in how I reuse and do our stuff. But any ideas? Anybody there that is doing something different in their farm or in their gardens? We go to Aldi's and they have boxes and they're perfect size for our 5-pound things of tomatoes, and that's what we use. Aldi's run, make sure you get some boxes, from the bin, and we reuse their boxes and give them to our clients. So we're trying not to just buy stuff if we don't need to and just reusing that. So I would love to have a page where we're sharing these ideas, because the more people get into this and this lifestyle, the more we can share tips. Anybody has a cool tip out there that they're doing already? That you're doing already?
Get paper bags instead of plastic at the grocery store. They have the option, they get the compostable item. This is going to sound bad, but my groceries go out naked, I say, because I refuse Walmart bags. That was the first thing I started with. I started because I didn't realize, but we were the ones that filled the Walmart. There's a drawer in our church where we have Walmart bags rolled up like that so people can take stuff with them. And our family was the one that was filling that, kept that thing full. I didn't realize that until I stopped using Walmart bags and it started going down into hardly any bag. I'm like, oh my. And I was like, because I'm like, you know what? I can put the groceries in my cart as is. I'll show my receipt. We go to the car, put it in my car. I have my totes there, and off I go. I usually have bins from the farm, and I don't have to use bags. And so slowly, Rick told me a couple of weeks ago, I didn't get any Walmart bags, because he will forget and bring grocery stuff in Walmart bags. But that's where I began. So find a place where you can begin. Say, this is the one thing I'm going to do. But that was the easiest thing for me to do. It started with no Walmart bags. Just walk out with and they're used to me now. They know me. They know that I don't use the bags. And I'll go, like if you go to TJ Maxx or Dillard's or wherever, and I pay, and I say, and they'll start putting stuff in the bag, and I go, I don't need a bag. And I'm like, you okay if I put it in my purse? I have my receipt, or I walk out with the stuff in my hand and my receipt. And, why do we need the bag? We have a car. We have a big car we can put it in. So, those are little things that keeps me alert. I didn't realize this, but a couple of weeks ago, a girlfriend of mine from California came, and it woke me up to realize how much my mind had changed thinking, because I went shopping with her, and I saw the way that she shopped, and I was thinking, I'm thinking in my head, I wouldn't, that's got plastic, or that's this, or has a bag, or I really don't need that now. It just starts, it's like a filter. Your brain starts filtering things that you're looking at in a different way, and you start with one, and then you add another one, and then another one, and pretty soon you realize, man, I have a whole bunch of filters in my head, and it helps you realize that, wow, we can really reduce the amount of stuff that we bring into our homes. Bea has a neat story in her thing. They even rent their houses on Airbnb, and they can pack everything in a to-go suitcase, and their house is ready for them to be gone for a month to France. Because everything they have, clothing-wise, fits in a to-go car and a to-go thing. It's amazing. So now she has, mind you, she's been at this for 20-some years, okay? So maybe in 20 years I'll get to that, but right now I have more than a suitcase of clothes. Oh, I'm sorry, I saw your hand.
So I'm not to your level at all, but
Well, I'm a beginner.
when I go to the store and I do get bags,
Why don't you stand up so people can hear
Okay.
you?
if I do get bags at the store, something that I'll do is instead of getting like extra bags for my trash or something, I'll use those bags for trash or to take my lunch
or something. I want a really usable lunch bag, but if I don't have one, I'll use that to take. So I find ways to reuse the ones that I do get.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's where you can begin there, using the stuff that you have. But mind you, you don't need 20 bags of groceries, bags. Some of us have a whole bunch of bags of groceries. So you also want to think on the amount of stuff you have, because the less you have, the less to clean. Believe me, I can clean my RV in a few hours on Friday, and I'm free. I am free. Now, I do live in an RV right now. But it's like, wow, simple living can be so freeing. So anyway, I hope that you've been inspired somewhat, somehow, and go out there and, I'm making it so you can go out there. Go out there and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you for sharing. And let us know what you come up with, okay? All right. Oh.
I just want to take a picture of everything. Can I display it?
Yeah, here. If you go on the website and start putting zero waste products for the house or something, oh my goodness, they have so much. It's so much fun.
Wash the vegetables. It's very good.
No, this is to wash your dishes.
Yes, but
So you're not
have
used.
also for
There's a softer one for vegetables.
yes, I bought both. I have both.
Yeah.
I feel like pretty much just sitting up.
All right, thanks for coming.
This week, you and Dwayne Levin. That's what it feels like. Hey, Vivian.
Yes, sir.
The little things off your 5Rs. There was
Yeah,
refuse
here.
what you don't need.
She just took my notes with her, but I have them here.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll pull what I have.